Well, first of all, I am just beyond proud of this group of kids. Um, the injury bug has hit our team hard, and this group tonight showed their resilience, showed their character. Um, we're down a lot of pieces, and this group fought for 40 minutes. I think it's as good a 40-minute fight as we've had all season. Um, got a really balanced attack. But we just found a way. We it wasn't pretty, um, but we found a way, and that's the DNA of our team. And I'm just really really happy with everything that's gone on. That the kids they've showed up every day and worked really really hard, and they kept chipping away at this thing. Um, and so I'm glad that they got rewarded. I'm glad our staff got rewarded. It's hard to put into words, to be honest. In my career, I've never had an injury situation um, like this over a rough 2 week stretch. Um, and in some ways, you look back on your career of the blessing of how fragile being healthy is. And I've got to be a part of some really good teams, and those teams stayed healthy. Um, and it just shows how quickly a season can turn. Um, but these youngsters, man, that's why you never underestimate young people. We have a roster full of kids that love the game of basketball, that work incredibly hard, and when it was their time and their number got called, they stepped up. I mean, gosh dang, that's got to be one of our highest scoring quarters of the season. And the truth is, we put in a new offense. We scrapped kind of our pick and roll. We went to a 5 out motion. I've never coached 5 out motion. And so we've had a whole bunch of late nights as a staff studying, trying to figure out what we can instill in a couple day window that complements the group that's playing in their skill set and their talents and their gifts. And to hang 27, that was the first time we went live against someone else running the 5 out motion. And so to hang 27 in that quarter was special. And it set the tone and it carried us to the win. Yeah, there's incredible leadership, and I've said that from the get go. I mean, we're a brand new staff. You're a brand new team with 14 new kids, and I've said it from the get go. There's amazing leadership on this team. Some of those kids are injured right now, and they're out. They've still showed they've been at every practice, they've been at every workout. You saw Jaden Owens coaching up Vic during the game. Um, and Agnes is the backbone, and I've said this all season long. Agnes is the backbone of our team. Her leadership, her toughness, um, and she's been in a whole bunch of big games. It's just a most selfless, elite competitor, and she was out there and she was the heart and soul of us tonight. Yeah, I mean this thing unfolded rapidly. It wasn't like a slow progression of this, but we have never any team I've been on has not had walk-ons, and it's just something that again you look back and you just understand how fortunate you are sometimes with the health, um, and so I mean I'm going to take this back to 2010. We took over at Oregon State and we had open tryouts in August because we had one scholarship player. So there was one other time we had to field the team via tryouts. Um, but it went, the numbers shrunk really quick to where that was the only there was no other option is we got to hold open tryouts and see what the turnout is. And you guys, the turnout was incredible. Um, the spirit of the student body, these girls that came to tryouts, we had 2 different days, 6 o'clock in the evening. These young ladies that showed up poured their hearts and souls into that tryout. And it's not like they're in basketball shape. It's not like been practicing. They just came from class and put on their sneakers. I mean, there was one young lady, I remember she said she got her hoop shoes overnight delivered. And so it was really neat. It was refreshing to see how lucky we are at the college level to do what we do. You got to witness, 50 young people. This is like a dream come true to have an opportunity to be a part of a college basketball team and the spirit that they played with. And then these four young ladies that we ended up selecting, um, they literally said, Coach, whatever we need to do to help the team, let us know. But there's a onboarding process. It's not as simple. You can just go get some walk-ons. Like there's many layers to it, and you can't speed the process up. But there's an onboarding process that compliance and eligibility, NCAA stuff that you got to work through. There's a big onboarding process with the medical side of stuff and all the testing and the clearance that has to be done before anybody. Now, normally your athletes do it in the summertime, and so there's a period there. And then the academic piece, they didn't build their class schedules around our practice when they set it. And so when you first added them, there wasn't a kid that could even come to practice. They had class. And so there's just this massive checklist to even get them to where they can show up to practice with you. And so it's been a village. It's been neat to see what TCU stands for, how the student body and the community has rallied around this group. In some ways, we're like America's team right now. Just been decimated by the injury bug. You have open tryouts mid-year. We haven't played 5-on-5, and you show up and you get a Big 12 win. It's an amazing story, and our staff has been incredible. And the young ladies, they have showed up every day and just handled their business and just kept chipping away. And so it's been a special, hard 2 weeks. Yep.
But anything interesting that showed up that, were they all pretty legit candidates that showed up?
So two different stories. At Oregon State, it's in August. So you truly held an open tryout, front page Oregonian. So people flew in from all over the country for the tryout. Here, because it's mid-year, your only chance to even get someone to get through the checklist, they have to be a current student and enrolled. So that shrinks the population that you get a pull from. Anticipate them getting an opportunity to contribute and play here in the next couple of games? Oh, it's all hands on deck with our season. They're ready. I mean, we literally did a walkthrough with them because they don't know a blob. They don't know an out of bounds. They don't know a sideline out of bounds. They don't know. We're covering just a hedge on a pick and roll. Like you are at ground zero with these kids. And so they had an hour shoot around this morning before our hour shoot around. They're trying to just learn our shooting drills so we can do stuff. So there's but they're suiting up because we need numbers. And obviously we've been hit by the injury bug. Hopefully no more happen. But they're this far away from full tilt. Get in there and let's rock and roll.
How cool was it that TC had a couple state champions and another 1,500 point score just kind of walking out?
I mean, that's incredible. But the reality is, and that's we're one of the smaller Power 5 schools in the country. I think us and Wake Forest are two of the smallest student bodies at the Power 5 level. I mean, imagine some of the big schools probably got some serious talent just walking around. But it was really neat to see these kids that they have a high IQ. They have a great competitive spirit. We got to get them in shape. Hopefully we can get their class schedule so they can practice with us. But there's kids that played and they love the game of basketball and they're all in to help. And so we're excited to work with them.
Mark, you address the leadership part of it. You address the leadership part of the players that you got. When you look at the end of that bench and see that group of talent that you have sitting at the end of the bench, you have to catch yourself sometimes going, wow, what you've missed? Or do you try not to focus on that?
Yeah, I mean, I got to coach that group for 14 games. And that group is one of the best teams in college basketball. And they proved that. And but reality is you can't live in the past. We got games that we got to prepare for. We got kids that we got to coach right here, right now. Our job is to make the best of the hands you get dealt. And gosh dang it, that's life. And you're going to have adversity and curveballs that you didn't see coming in life. And so this is great for young people to see. You still show up, you roll your sleeves up, and you get to work. And you can't put your head down. And that's something our staff and team has done a phenomenal job of. And we're going to slowly get kids back. And our job is to keep getting this group better, so that as we keep adding pieces, we're a better basketball club as we get healthy.
Coach, you also added Sarah Sylvester from volleyball. What were those conversations like with Coach Williams as that transition happened?
Coach Williams has been an unbelievable advocate of TCU athletics. I think that's a snapshot into what the family environment that's at TCU athletics. Well, at this level, it's a cutthroat business that you got to win. And for him to be fully supportive, he even came to the tryouts. And he gave Sarah 2 thumbs up to go. And Sarah literally just said, how can I help? That was the first thing when I met her is, hey, how can I help you guys? And so TCU is a special place. And you're getting to see it as adversity hit, everybody's rallied. And so what Coach has done is really, really cool. And me and him got to sit down and just talk shop, and he was so supportive. And obviously he had a situation, I could mess this up, 2 years ago where they had a game against Texas, I think, that their team got rocked. And so he understands what we're going through, and he's just been awesome. I'm very thankful for him. Yeah, we've had enough adversity. We went from none to we've got our fair share. Um, but that's as you build a culture, adversity is always going to hit, and you don't know when. Um, and we had a great run going where things were just we were smooth sailing. But adversity is always going to hit, athletically and in life. And so you try to prepare these young people to manage it and to handle it right. And this group has done that, and it's evident with the 3 leading scorers out, and to come do what this group did, and they did it together, and they fought and they clawed and they found a way. And so it shows we got a special locker room, you guys, and we've known that. We've known that. Yeah, it does. You pour your heart and soul into this thing, and the kids pour their heart and soul into this thing, and you don't always get rewarded in life for your hard work. And so when you do, man, it's refreshing. I mean, this has been a really challenging time. Building a program without all this adversity is hard. Taking over where this program was, um, and to kind of take off like a rocket ship and go where we went that quickly, and then you had adversity hit and you're back down, and you're kind of at rock bottom trying to figure this thing out. And it does invigorate you to see the spirit of these kids. The crowd was incredible. This community came out and supported this team, and to get a win, man, it's incredible.
Going back to the last few minutes of the game tonight, you had 3 players in the game, 4 fouls each, and they didn't give up a basket, I think, in the last 4 minutes of the contest. Just talk about the determination to finish strong when you're already short the line.
I mean, no doubt. Aaliyah Robertson has never played the middle of our zone, period, until the 4th quarter today. I mean, talk about just winging it. I called 2 our zone, and Aaliyah looked over like this. And so, but it's the spirit. They found a way to get stops when the game mattered. They found a way to slow down Caitlin, who's one heck of a basketball player. And teams in our league have really struggled to slow her down. But when it mattered, with 4 minutes to go in the game, we found ways to get stops. We found ways to get buckets. And so that's, gosh dang, we got a special group of kids. Aaliyah is, and we've talked about this, just scratching the surface of who she's going to become as a basketball player. She's still figuring out her true talents and gifts, and she has this massive ceiling, and she's just learning and growing into that thing. And Aaliyah's a winner. She comes from an incredible basketball family. Um, Brothers and sisters that have played at the highest level. And so she's a competitor. She's a winner. She just makes basketball plays that impact winning. And she's done that all season for us, but now she has a much bigger role. And today she was awesome.
Talk about Vic and how much she's grown up and being thrusted into a position like this, especially coming off an ACL.
I mean, Vic's coming off 2 ACLs. I mean, she's a kid that had 2 ACLs in high school, playing behind Jaden Owens, who's one of the best point guards in college basketball. She's had a small role because of Jaden, and Jaden is elite. But Jaden, you guys don't get to see this part of Jaden Owens. Behind the scenes, from day one, she has poured into Victoria and invested in her, and it paid off tonight. And you saw Jay Owens grabbing her during the huddles and talking to her. And so Vic, as a true freshman, to come out and play 34 minutes in a Big 12 game and lead us, and she had some turnovers, but that kid believes in herself at a high level, and she kept coming back, and she never put her head down, and she found a way. That kid got a huge steal in a transition layup in the fourth quarter down the home stretch that really gave us some breathing room.
And you talk about Sydney Hare, coming back, working back from an ankle. She really kept you on the game there in the third quarter, not to allow UCF to extend their lead.
Sydney Harris is an absolute bucket getter. I mean, she finds a way to put the ball in the hole at a high level. And she's working her way back. She was injured for 8 weeks. I don't even know how much time she missed. And so she's working out the kinks, and she hasn't had a big role. And she gave us 21 minutes and 25 seconds of important basketball, and they went zone, and Sid got loose. That kid can really, really shoot it, and she believes in herself and her shooting ability. And so she kind of busted that zone single-handedly.
Talk a little bit more about Agnes. She's the backbone of the team. Kind of rough shooting stretch there until the very end of the game. Whenever you needed her most, make key free throws and a key layup there at the end. Just talk a little bit more about her.
I mean, Agnes, you guys, she hasn't shot by numbers that well from the free throw line, but there was a technical. I didn't even hesitate. There's one kid I want at that free throw line that if we're going to win or lose, I'm rolling with that kid. She stuck those two, and in the fourth quarter, felt like a football game where they were doing the delay game. Ice the punter. It felt like they were icing her at the free throw line. And Agnes stepped up and buried those two. But you guys, she lives in the gym. She's the last one to leave the gym. But I'm going to win and lose with that kid.
Final questions for Coach? This one's behind you now. You go to Texas Tech this weekend, and then obviously the rest of the Big 12 is right ahead of you. How do you carry this momentum and this energy forward, knowing that this is going to be your situation for at least the next week?
Oh, yeah, it's our situation for a while. You prepare just like these young people have prepared. You show up tomorrow and you do your job, and you handle tomorrow, and you do it with a great focus and a great energy, and we'll do film, and you just walk through. You just don't skip steps, and they haven't skipped steps this whole year. And even during adversity, this group showed up and locked in. The staff showed up and locked in. And so as we prepare for Texas Tech, it will be no different as our preparation here. And obviously winning on the road's hard. It's hard in the Big 12. It's hard in any league. And so your margin for error shrinks when you're on the road. But this was a great game for us, for these young people to get some belief in themselves, that they can do it, that we can do it. And so excited for the next game. I'm going to enjoy this one, you guys. And tomorrow I'm turning the page.